Okay, boys and girls, here it is, the big reveal. The new to me force feed Jericho dog box transmission. This thing is the shiznit. You can see I've started putting on the shift linkage. I still got the reverse linkage to hook up. This rod is not long enough. I've got some longer ones I'm going to put on. I'll take this top off. Pretty fancy looking top cover there. Okay, so you can see inside the transmission there, straight cut gears and dog rings. These things right here are the one half of the dog ring, and then this is the other half where it engages. So this is first, second, third, fourth, and let's see if I can line this up. So as you can see, these two dogs now are engaged, and when the transmission turns, they will run into each other right in this little gap here. This one will run into this one and lock it in. It's kind of like synchros, except more extreme. The second gear one's right here. You can see how it pops in there, like so. So watch this center one, and then I'll spin the gears, and you can see it hit the one on the. I'll spin it both ways, and you can see it hit the one that's on the gear. That engages it. And all the gears are like that, so you don't use the clutch. Well, supposedly it's clutch assisted, but everybody that knows how to drive one of these doesn't use the clutch other than just to get going. Actually, the clutch can be kind of a hindrance sometimes. So now I'm going to work on getting that reverse shift rod hooked up. Okay, we're going to hook up the reversed shift linkage now. There's the reverse gear right there, lever. Got the shifter lever in neutral, and there's a you can kind of slide a screwdriver through to lock it into neutral. I'm going to put it through the back. And I don't know if you can see it, but the reverse lever is back here. Got a threaded rod, 2 rod ends. This is left and right hand thread. This is the left hand rod end. I usually put them on the transmission and the right hands on the shifter. Probably really doesn't matter. Just kind of keep them all the same, all lefts, all rights, vice versa. Run the rod end on here most of the way. We're like 3/4 of the way. Lightly jam the jam nut by hand. And then we'll just run a bolt through here, connect it to the shifter arm, but not bolt it on right now because this rod's too long. So then I just hold the actually I'll put a bolt through the rod end and hang it on the shifter arm, on the shifter, and then kind of hold the tube up next to it because it's too long, and then mark it where it needs to be cut. And take it back off. Then I'll go and cut this tube to this length, and since this has the right hand threads in it already, and when I cut it it's not going to have any more, I'll have to run a tap in there with right hand 3/8 fine threads. Okay, I've got this shortened and threaded. So again, we'll just temporarily slide a bolt in here. Thread in our other rod end. Thread it in about the same length as this one here. Then with this in the disengaged position and this in the neutral position, we want to line it up. And if it doesn't quite go in, we need to shorten and lengthen this tube. So I'll loosen up the jam nuts. And it needs to be a little shorter. Just a little bit shorter. And that's pretty good right there. So I'll go get some nuts and washers and bolt both ends on, and then we'll test it. Okay, I've got the reverse rod all bolted on nice and snug, all the jam nuts jammed. So I'm going to take my neutral lock out, and then we'll see how it shifts into reverse, which is over and back. And it goes right in. And we'll twist the input and output splines. Yeah, she's locked in reverse. So I'll just run through the gears here. All the way over and back is reverse. Looking pretty good. Put it back into neutral. Line up the dogs. First. It's fully engaged. I'm checking inside, looking at the gears. Second, fully engaged. Third, looks good. Fourth, looks good. Cool. Now all we got to do is get the bell housing on. Adjust the annular throwout bearing, get the new clutch in. Here's the new clutch disc that I have for this transmission. It's a 4-puck solid plate. Okay, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time.